Penis. Penis. Welcome. Welcome, my friends, to what I like to usually call the Titanic. Why do I call it the Titanic? Because this channel has been a sinking ship since 2016. 2016. Could you imagine doing this for so long and getting so little in return? You would imagine maybe I would keep doing it if somehow the returns would match the time invested. But no, my friends, no, I keep going. Why? I don't know, some latent psychological issues. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm still here. As a matter of fact, I'm here on a Wednesday, on a very important Wednesday. Well, every Wednesday is important when we do these streams, but today in specific, we're in the midst of a hurricane, my friends. Now, obviously, I'm from Miami, which is the complete opposite coast of the one that's getting absolutely bombarded by Hurricane Ian. However, we do still feel a little bit of the surrounding circumstance of the hurricane, as we did yesterday, losing power throughout the day, especially at inconvenient times, which makes me just want to punch a puppy, makes me want to find the nearest dog and make sure I kick it into the eye of the storm. Letting the ads play to support my favorite pig podcaster. One thing that matters because every single one of these gets demonetized. I don't know what it is, maybe the topic, but usually the topics are pretty mundane. So I'm not sure as to why they get demonetized so regularly, but that's the YouTube life. That's the life I've chose to subscribe to. Oh my God. Much love, says Jonathan Rosario. Mike says, my goal for today to find out how to actually communicate with Piggy once I fly into Fort Lauderdale. Could you imagine just the life choices you'd have to make in order to fly into Fort Lauderdale? First of all, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, terrible city. There's nothing to do there. It's Miami if you removed all the fun. I was watching a documentary recently on the cocaine cowboys in Miami, and I was rooting for them. I'm not usually an ACAB person because I have a brain, but when it comes to that level of notoriety, I'm like, the cops are shitty people in this particular case, as are the people prosecuting them. They just want to bring in coke to the states. Is that really that bad? You're only upset as the government because you can't tax it. That's why you're upset. You don't care about the well-being of humanity. You just want to tax the coke. If you tax the coke, everything would be fine. Everyone would be happy with it. But Fort Lauderdale is a terrible city. Miami is where it's at. Fort Lauderdale is what is the Puerto Ricans, the Cubans. I've always said Fort Lauderdale is just that weird city that's north, right? It'd be in the past the Broward area, if you want to call it that. It's not a fun place unless you really want to. You ran out of places in Miami, and somehow you think you're gonna find yourself a nice gordita. John Rice, my hurricane watch keeps whirling around. I don't actually hold up. My hurricane watch just keeps whirling around. Don't know the actual time. That's a pun. That was a nice pun there. We have some file footage of hurricanes here in Miami, how Miamians are treating it. Let me see if I could show you guys the sort of stuff that we deal with here. This is just my favorite. Oh, please. Yeah, thank you. If you could pause, please. TikTok. At TikTok, I would really appreciate it if you would pause. Thank you. Thank you. So this is, can I put this full screen? No, I can't. I have to log in. So you guys are just going to have to bear with me while we watch this video. But this is, I believe, a news from Miami. Let me actually zoom in. Maybe that's the way to do it. Yeah, okay. I have to zoom in, which, by the way, it still stays the... Okay. I'm glad you guys aren't looking at what I'm looking at because you'd be frustrated as I am. Okay, so there you go. I made it bigger. If only I could do this for my penis. Let's go here. This is... I've realized as well that I'm covering most of it, but you should be able to just to hear it, which is the main point of this. Let's see. Actually, let me make myself a little bit smaller here. There you go. Look at that technology. While we're doing this.
We just came out here to experience the weather. We just came out here to experience the weather. Yeah, we heard about all the evacuation going on, but we just came out here to experience the weather. Why?
I don't know if you guys heard that correctly. I hope you did. But that's what we deal with here And whether or not this is a bit, whether or not they did that on you know, try to get on the news, this is complete normalcy here. I saw this video and I'm like, oh wait, what's wrong with it? That's just the way people speak here.
We came out here to experience the weather. We just came out here to experience the weather. Yeah, we heard about all the evacuation going on, but we just came out here to experience the weather.
The evacuation's going on, my friends. There's a lot of evacuations going on. This was I had to rewatch it a couple times because in watching it initially, I'm like, oh yeah, man, evacuation's going on, and then I went, wait, no, you're smart, you're educated. Evacuations. That's not the right way to say it. Mike Paglia says PigCake matters. Bear with you, covering my eye. That's quite funny. Lloyd Barnes. I don't know if that's the actual Lloyd Barnes. I've had a thing on the account. I'm sorry if it is Lloyd Barnes, and I'm not treating you as you should, which is me immediately filleting you. But usually people make fake accounts, and then I look, and unfortunately YouTube took out that feature where you could go to the channel and verify. So people would make fake accounts and troll me. So I've had what do you call this, Shin Lim show up. I've had my father, believe it or not, make a comeback on the live stream. He's gone, hey Piggy, I'm back from, I don't know, doing something that Arab people do. It is me. That's what Lloyd Barnes would say. That's what Lloyd Barnes would say. Lloyd Barnes would say, hey, it is me. I'm very jealous, by the way, of your of your tremendous success in YouTube. You were chatting to me in Blackpool with your pink hat on. My pink hat on. I didn't have a pink hat. I had this hat. I had this hat on, Lloyd. Is that how I know that you're not the real Lloyd? Can I see the channel? No, I can't see the channel. I can't verify that it's you. So you could actually be anyone. You could be my long lost father. But I wasn't wearing a pink hat. Have I solved the case immediately? But that's a normal news incident here in Miami. The evacuations are always recommended by obviously the higher ups. They say, hey guys, you guys need to evacuate as soon as possible. Nobody does it. Nobody leaves. We're not fucking leaving, no matter what. Even if it's a category 5 hurricane, nobody's leaving. That's the way things work here. And then you have us just swimming through the muck and complaining at our dilapidated house. I'll send you a photo on Instagram now. I hope it's a photo of what I want. So let's see if you your mentalism. Let's see if your mentalism is up to snuff, and you send me a photo of what I'm thinking I want from you. Let's see, I'm trying to transmit it to you now via I don't know, whatever thing my short body is able to convey to you. But yeah, you do have quite a substantial. See? Lord Barnes sent a photo, and it's okay, actually, of him. I was thinking penis. I was thinking penis, Lloyd. I was thinking your penis. I want to see your penis. Instead, I see a picture of you looking jolly and happy. You look great, by the way, man. Every time I see you, I'm very tempted to want to do things to you. But then I realize, alas, you are a married man, and that would be adultery, which is actually one of the topics of today's episode. Today, we're going to be talking about this adulterous man that got popular on the internet. But there you go. Look at that. And let me zoom in. Usually, I like to, whenever people send me stuff, I zoom in as to, is that Turner? No, that's somebody that you're talking to. Thank God his penis is not out. Your photo. I'm glad this one, by the way, you sent me a picture. I'm going to turn it this way just to make sure that it's not. Okay, that's great. That's tremendous. That's a big one, I got to say. I'm glad I wasn't showing that to the camera. But I don't know if that's natural, man. I would get that checked out. I had an incident with a hernia the other day, and I had to go to the doctor for the first time in a while. I think I mentioned this on a stream, and they had to do that thing where they're uncomfortably touching around your balls, right? And the only thing that I'm thinking is, don't get hard. Don't get hard. Don't get hard. It's Bo. Oh, so that was Bo. That was a picture of Bo, I imagine, right? Because I know how you guys are down there, you Brits. You guys are all the same. You guys have tiny panasia, but you like to boast it. I don't know how many people's penises I saw on their phone when I was over there in Blackpool. It's a move that people do. seemingly in clubs. They go, hey, love, look at the guess who I am, by the way. What's up, love? That's me right there, right? And it's a picture of them with their penis out. That was very commonplace when I was frequenting the bars in England, which were plentiful. They were plentiful. I suggest against it. I had a whole tirade, as a matter of fact, on the last live stream on petrol, on how Americans pump petrol. Ugh, gosh. But it's always good to see you, Lloyd. I wish I could touch you right now, but unfortunately, I'm a couple hundred. I don't know how far we are, but maybe I might make it over there sometime soon. But yeah, today we have an action-packed episode, and by that I mean it's the hurricane, right? We're streaming here. I'm streaming here in the midst of a hurricane, which usually to people from Florida, it's not a big deal. But everywhere else, it seems to be a massive deal because I've gotten nonstop messages. Hey, man, hope you're good. Hey, dude, I hope everything's all right with you. I hope that you're surviving through this hurricane. And we don't see it as a big deal. We complain when we lose power, right? As I did in the last hurricane. As a matter of fact, I wanted to look for a picture of me in my poverty in my last hurricane that we lost power for 2 weeks. And I was outside without a shirt, just there meandering, right? I don't know if I was drinking at the time. So that shows you how long ago it was, maybe 2016, 2017. But that was one of the worst ones we had. We just complain, right? We don't leave. We don't really, I mean, we board up to a minimum. We put some wood on the windows. That's about it. Doesn't really matter. The windows here are hurricane resistant as they are. Florida has very stringent laws when it comes to their architecture. So it's not like anything's going to happen that's too bad. Unless we get one of those massive category 5 or even 6s that don't even exist, but they exist and they just tear through. We're ignorant hypocrites. That's the way we are down here in the southern tip of Florida. So we only complain after the fact. And that's what's happening now. Right now, there were a bunch of dudes working outside. I was having some beers outside, watching them work. Is that rude? Is that rude of me? Right? But the correlation was I lost power. I go outside. I see some people cutting down trees, which, by the way, that shows you the way things work down here. They're cutting trees down during the hurricane. It should be a preventative thing. It shouldn't be a reactionary thing. Right? They're coming through. It's obviously there's winds that are being percolating through the air. And that's when they decide to come in and chop trees down because they're a hazard to the light poles. What? Are you having a laugh? Another term I stole from you guys over there in the fucking land of the queen. Rip. My dude. I'd hit it. I saw some pictures of her back in the day. Right? That's not my type, but I would hit it. But they were cutting trees down during the hurricane, which is just standard practice right here. We do things not during, but we do things after. We do things instead of when they should be done, which is before. We do it when we feel like it. So I was having beers outside, looking at them work. And typically, of course, you would imagine, I don't know if you heard that, but there's an ambulance outside, directly outside, which is just, again, typical. I live in the hood. I think maybe I should start by saying that. I live in the hood, so noises like, I don't know, people working, Cubans next door, cops, is commonplace here. But I like to do that. I like to keep it that way because it keeps me on edge. I feel like if I move into a safe area, I'm going to lower my guard. I want to keep my guard up. Here's another video. I believe that is from here directly. Let me see. Let me look at it before, just to make sure that we can see it. All right, perfect. Yeah, that's great. Let me just play copyrighted music so that I get fucking hit in the face. Every time, by the way, I play even 3 seconds of copyright music, immediately gets that little yellow piss thing. I don't know if you guys have done YouTube videos where you see the little yellow piss monetization thing, but I get that quite often. I see why, but come on, give me a break. Give me a break, YouTube. Let's go here and see if I could show you guys actual live footage of Hurricane Ian in Tampa right now. You get the bit? Right? Yeah, okay. That's the bit. Bit was, obviously. Obviously, that's not happening live, piggy. Ha! I got you. I got you. That's how we react to things here. Again, we react to things after the fact. We don't really care. So this hurricane is just another big storm. Were you watching a Pirates of the Caribbean or something? You should leave the hood and have a meetup tomorrow with a viewer from Texas. Well, that's one of the only reasons why I trust you, Mike, and trust you that you're not going to stab me in the neck, in that you're from Texas, you're coming to Florida, which lets me know that you're into space, right? You're into space of weird states. So had you been, I don't know, from like North Carolina or something, I would have been questioning you. Had you been from California, I would definitely be questioning you. But you know what? You're from here, sorry, from Texas. So I'm going to trust you. But Fort Lauderdale, you can make your way down to Miami. Maybe we could have a little bit of a snack in one of my favorite Cuban restaurants known as Sergio's. So look that up and see if that's within your space of hanging out, and I'd be glad to hang out. You asked for a video to prove I wasn't raped. And Discord DMs. I never check my Discord, man. I only go on Discord just to say, hey guys, I'm streaming. Go ahead and check me out. Check out this dying channel. But you know what? It's a dying channel, and I'm going to be the captain that stays on the boat, god damn it.
Bing bong.
Bing bong, my friends. Bing bong. Till the end. Sounds like a deleted scene from Dahmer. I've been, somebody's told me, hey man, you should watch that Dahmer thing. I don't want to watch a fictionalized version of anything. I hate that. I want to watch the actual thing. I want to watch the tapes, the guy being interviewed. I don't want to watch the guy that played the Flash guy on the X-Men playing Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't want to watch that. No, thank you. I want to be thinking throughout. It's like Elvis. When I watched Elvis, okay, great. It's Tom Hanks. I'm taken out of the movie because it's Tom fucking Hanks throughout the entirety of the fucking movie. I've got the day in my space. How the hell do I actually get a hold of you to coordinate once? Okay, well, look, we're live here, right? So I'm going to look on Discord. Fucking penis. Thank you for that. Last thing I see is a massive penis. Thank you. I appreciate it, Lloyd. God damn it. Let me see. So I'm going to go on Discord. And I'm actually going to respond. Let me see if I can find you here. Mike, okay. You did send me a video. Okay, penis. I just sent you a message with the word penis on it. That's our code word, right? That's the code word. Quicksilver, thank you. I'm not going to be familiar with the terms, all right, and the names of superheroes. That's the other rant that you've seen me go on frequently here, right, is my disdain and hatred of all things Marvel. I had a whole video on Marvel adults, people that follow it too much, and it makes me ill inside my body to know that people like that exist, that they just follow the stuff and they go, whoa, hey, why don't we speculate on fiction? You're speculating on, then again, I'm a magician. That's what I do. I do a lie. I lie for a living. So who's really the kettle calling the pot black here? Let's see. Okay, so yeah, so that's that one. Please answer my please question my North Carolina-ish. I'm in Asheville. Says Mike Paglia. I apologize profusely for your problems. And the Florida man, right? The Florida man gets a lot of shit. We're really the better part of the states. We get a lot of shit because you're just trying to project your shit on us. But the Florida man's not a bad man. Yeah, we have some kooky characters, but at least we have characters. We're not boring. We're not from fucking North Dakota. What? North and South? Come on. Come on. If your state has to be split in North and South, you've already set yourself up for failure. Look at Florida. It's phallic. We're a penis. We're a strong, independent penis shape, right? You can't say that about your state, and you're probably jealous. You fuck. Let's see. Sorry, I skipped through the comments here. Manel says, I saw you in a pool with PT and her. With PT and her. You know, it's funny if you say PT, it's PD, right? PD. Yeah, that was odd, by the way, and dumb, because I realized you shouldn't get in a hot tub after you get a tattoo. And I just got that tattoo at that bar by somebody who clearly hasn't done a tattoo in fucking years because he was just cutting through my bone. At least it felt like that with a steak knife. And then we get right into his hot tub, right? And I remember Googling it after. It's like, oh, you don't want to get into a hot tub because there's fecal matter in hot tubs. There's germs. It's almost a breeding ground for germs. And that's where you decide to rest in. So that wasn't a good choice. But you know what? I came out of it all right. came out of it all right. You say Florida men come from North Florida. That is true. I have mentioned that before. There is quite a difference between Florida in the sense of North Florida and South Florida. South Florida, we're a different state entirely. North Florida is really Georgia. So anytime you interact with somebody from North Florida, they have like a twang to their voice. They're very not polite, but they're Southern, right? You get that Southern comfort. We don't get that down here. We have nothing but Cuban trash, me included. Me included. My neighbors, as a matter of fact, I think there's 26 of them. There's 26 of them that live in the next house. Rather, the house is a standard house, right? It's a standard normal Miami house, maybe 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, right? 2 bathrooms. There's 26 of them that live in there. The other day, as a matter of fact, I walked outside and I saw a grown man taking a shower outside. I don't know why. I assume somebody's sleeping in their bathroom, which is why they have to resort to showering outside. And also, I'm there trying to have a cigar. I go outside. Have a nice Coke Zero, right? Put some vanilla syrup in it. Take a cigar. I go to have my cigar, and then I see children, 3 children, butt naked. Whether the mom is waiting to shower them in a sink outside. Come on, we're not in Cuba. So that's too trashy even for my standard. I thought I was trashy. That's next level trashy. So that's what I deal with as my next door neighbors. Tremendous. You were in Blackpool, says Lloyd Barnes. What is Florida man? That is true. Yeah, you're right. I was in Blackpool. Blackpool, I believe, is the equivalent of the Florida man meme. The Florida man is, if I could look it up, let me see if I could show you an example of a Florida man. So you would understand it. A Florida man is a type of man that would, for example, put on lemon juice on his face because he thinks it makes him invisible to cameras and goes to rob a bank. That's a Florida man, right? And that's an actual case that's happened. Let me see. Florida man meme. I have to use Bing here, which makes me want to, again, punch a puppy. But let's see if I could show you the equivalent meme here. Yes, right here. This is a perfect meme. Oh my God, I don't know why I'm getting so stuffy all of a sudden. People would say, oh, it's probably the cocaine because of the Miami bit. And you would be right. Most people here do coke. I'm not a cokey, though. Never done coke, but most people do. Let me show you what the Florida man meme would be. So right here, Florida man on drugs, kills imaginary friend, and then turns himself in. This is what a Florida man would be, right? That's the style of meme. A Florida man charged with picking magic mushrooms while carrying an alligator. So that's the stereotype of a Florida man. Sent back to jail after not paying for a taxi ride home from jail. That's commonplace. A Florida man arrested for practicing karate by kicking swans in the head. Again, all standard. I read these and I don't even flinch. Florida man arrested for hanging on traffic light and shitting on cars passing underneath. That's more impressive than anything, to be honest. That's more impressive. So it would be the equivalent of a standard Blackpool man, the Florida man. I saw a man shitting in a park bench the other day through the little holes in the park bench. He was just sitting down. I believe I was on a walk. I come back, and he was surrounded by police. So somebody called the cops. Wasn't me. I'm like, oh, standard. All right, just man defecating on a in a bus stop. Just normal bits. Anthony Crapella says, yes, Coke Zero hits different. Coke Zero definitely hits different. If there's a drink that's drank by the gods themselves, it's Coke Zero. Even though technically this is like government mind control potion, because how is this 0 calories? How does this have caffeine? How does this have such a tremendous taste and yet not provide any sort of nutritional value to my body whatsoever? So I'm convinced that we're just drinking vats of boiling acid, but because it tricks our body into tasting good, we keep at it. And they definitely still put something in this that makes you hooked on it. I also love the argument of why you shouldn't eat McDonald's. This is a frequent argument I hear. Hey, you shouldn't eat McDonald's because it's bad for you, and they make it taste good, that you eat more of it. Yeah, that's kind of the point. Right? They make it taste good. You know you're not eating food, especially when you're paying $1 for a burger. What? There's no way. There's no way that what you're eating is going to add anything of value nutritionally to your body. That shit was made in a laboratory, especially now with like the vegan patties. If you ever had an Impossible Whopper, it tastes exactly like a Whopper. How did you trick my mind into eating this bean burger that tastes exactly like a Whopper? And by the way, I almost threw up at the thought of it. It's worse for you. It's more calories and less protein. And you could argue, hey, at least a burger from McDonald's has protein in it. But that Impossible Walker has Impossible Walker. Jesus. The Impossible Whopper has less protein and more shitty calories and more bad fat. Why would you want that? Oh, because it doesn't have meat? Come on. 2022. Let's see. Looks like my dad. Piggy, Google, Joey Crapella, my dad. The worst of the Florida man. Now I have to go on Google and look that up. And what I hate is that I'm on Bing, so I have to Bing Google. Because the way Bing works is that they don't want you to use Google. So you have to pretty much fill the whole thing. So let's look up Anthony Crapella. Anthony Crapella. Great name, by the way. Can't even read that far. Anthony Crapella. Pompano Beach, Florida is the first one that comes up. Is this? I mean, this is the first picture that comes up when looking up Anthony Crapella, which is standard. Let me see if I could show you guys what I'm looking at. This is what an Anthony like what I would imagine an Anthony Crapella to look like. This guy right here looks like at any given time he has a pocket full of bags, individual bags of cocaine. That's the impression I get. I don't know if that's the same person we're talking about, but definitely leads me down that particular thought process. We got Sav Magician says, keeping busy. My man, your tactic. Oh, you're talking about Lloyd. I'm here thinking I'm getting a compliment. No, of course not. Of course not. Good to have you here, Sav. Sav. I don't think we met. No, we didn't meet. Fortunately. And if we did, I probably was hammered. I got a bad hangover the other day. And it was the first one I've had in a while. God, if drinking wasn't so much fun. Look at what we're willing to do to ourselves and our bodies. Even though we know what's coming. We know the hangover's coming. When I came back home, stumble fucking, I knew, all right, I have to prepare for the hangover. 2 Tylenol. I chugged a 32-ounce glass of water. And then I'm just there in bed fighting demons because I know it's coming. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. But the drinking part was fun as fuck. I'm there chatting it up, drinking, just having the time of my life. And then the inevitable truth comes when you have to wake up and deal with what you've done to your body. It's poison. You're poisoning your body. But we still do it because it feels good for, I don't know, 2 hours. I had six beers and what's the other one? But that didn't mess me up. They were Coors. Coors is like water. I might as well have drank Coors with the Tylenol. But the bartender misheard, and she gave me this blue concoction. I guess I don't know what it was. It might have been a Long Island iced tea, but she confused that for a Coors. What? So I drank that, and that's what ended up ruining the night. Getting hammered with 32 is playing a game in hard mode. Yes, my friend, you are right. I didn't realize that, but unfortunately, I started drinking late. I started drinking at 27, so I'm trying to catch up. I've skipped on what could potentially is 6 years of fun, even though people drink from fucking 15, right? Legally, I missed out on what could be 6 years of drinking experience that I'm now trying to catch up on since I was 27. I drank an 18-pack a couple weeks ago. Michael Lawrence, never again. Well, an 18-pack of what? If you drank an 18-pack of, I don't know, something like Coors, you're fine. Bud Light. Budweiser's the king of beer. There's nothing better than Budweiser, especially a really cold one. I've had warm Budweiser, and it's still good. Pig, you're drinking a Coca-Cola. That's literally the worst thing you could put in your body, says Grizzly Bird FPV. I'm aware. Unfortunately, I'm aware. The reason I drink it, right, is because it's 0 calories and it fills me up. I know I could just have more fiber. I could just eat some fruit. I could just have some sparkling water. But like an idiot, I decided to buy a 35-pack of Coca-Cola. Although I have been using them to make brownies recently. You're making brownies with Coke? Yeah. You get cocoa powder, you get protein powder, you get some other stuff, a sweetener, You mix it up with some Coke, you put it in the oven, you put some chocolate chips. Guess what? You have a low calorie, high protein brownie, right? That's what, like 150 calories, depending on how much is the protein powder. What? So you make it with Coke. I should make a recipe video. Michelin Ultra or Michelle Ultra. Jesus. I don't know if that's your previous what do you call this? You spell checked your significant other there, but Michelle Ultra sounds like the type of girl I wouldn't want to hang out with. Um, is like 4%. True, you do have to have a lot in order to get a buzz, but that's what I like about it. You're hydrating yourself. Let me see. Yeah, I need to add ibuprofen to the mix. I know. Yeah, it depends. I try to. I haven't found the right formula. There is one concoction that I bought at a pharmacy once, which I've been looking for forever, and I haven't seen it since. Which probably lets me know that it's illegal, right? But they had it at the counter, and they said, "Drink this 45 minutes before you go drinking. You won't have a hangover." Right? That's what the advertisement claims. I drank it. I drank quite a lot that day. And the next day, no hangover. Felt tremendous. So I was wondering, what did this concoction do to my body that it's tricking it into thinking, hey, you're good, you're fine. I don't want to find out. That's the only thing that worked, but I doubt its authenticity. Get it in now. By the time you're 40, hangovers aren't worth the fun you had while drinking, says Alan Bordeaux. I agree. Right. Thank you for that advice. I mentioned it before as a 32-year-old man. Fortunately, I'm trying to catch up for lost time. Right. I don't drink often. I don't drink quite often. I would like to, but unfortunately, it's like drinking pasta. Right. And beer is very bloating. And as a matter of fact, I was going to say beer also has the production of estrogen in your body, which you don't want if you're a man, which ties into this story right here. Ties into this story. Now, this is part of I guess, a line of news that I really don't care about. Right. I don't give a fraction of a fuck here. But these were videos that I used to watch. And it's just funny because of the type of people that partake in this, right? The Try Guys scandalous breakup was inevitable for the Try Guys. They would make these videos. They were popular because they made a video about well, at least they got popular in my circle because they made a video where they tested their blood for testosterone levels, right? And their testosterone, I believe combined was lower than it should be for the average man. I'm obviously exaggerating. I think it was each of them had like two something. The one that was the highest testosterone was the gay guy, which is this guy, right? So that lets you know, oddly enough, where they stand. But what's weird is that this guy right here was known for always making mention of his significant other, of his wife. And he's like, nah, because my wife this. And then he ends up getting busted cheating on his wife. I don't know if they have some pictures, but this is what they do. It says they were known for, trying things, right? The Try Guys. I remember watching their videos back in the day. Unfortunately, as much as it pains me to say, I'd watch some videos on BuzzFeed. Speaking of testosterone, Hungry and Hangover, Hungry and Hungover says they had the testosterone of a magician. You're right. They had the average testosterone of a person that does magic tricks. That's why I'm so. You guys can't hear the glob that's in my throat right now, but I feel it. But I watched their videos, right? There were some of them were interesting. That testosterone video was very interesting. But they were pretty popular. And this guy was cheating. He's the one that would always mention his wife, and he had a bunch of videos with his wife and shit. I don't know if somebody's knocking. I hear noise, and I don't know if somebody's knocking. That's always worrisome. But you know what? I'm going to ignore it as I do with everything that happens in this area and hopefully survive. That's kind of the vibe here. So I found that extraordinarily funny, right? That this guy that would always make mention of his wife, my wife this, my wife that, oh my God, my wife would love this, is the one that ends up cheating. And here's the thing when it comes to these situations, right? You got caught. That doesn't necessarily mean that that was the first time that you were cheating, which unfortunately has happened to me with significant others, where it's like, oh, hey, you were caught with this particular other person this time, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that this is the only time you've ever done it. And you're only sorry because you got caught. You weren't sorry because you did it. You were sorry because you got caught. You probably would have lived the rest of your life without having me known, unless you were mistaken and not assuming that I'm fucking Sherlock Holmes and I pick up on absolutely everything. So in this case, it was the exact same thing, which was funny. Let's see. Butcher is at the door, says Mike, letting me know that you're a real OG if you were part of the Butcher saga. Unfortunately, Butcher, I believe, is Butcher was a what do you call it? Oh, you sent me an article from the Sun Sentinel, Anthony. You sent me sorry, that threw my train of thought all the way. Lets me know that you have been around for a while. Lets me know that you've been around since the long before. As I often mention, Butcher unfortunately has decided that Antifa rallies are more exciting than trying to find interesting ways to stalk and murder potential magic YouTuber. But alas, that's another thing in and of itself. The worst part is that I'm pretty sure he just had a baby with his wife too and got caught cheating. Ugh. Yeah, but that's the thing. You're not sorry because it happened. You're sorry because you got caught, right? And Lord knows how many other incidents there were and questionable times. But then this one incident, you get caught, and oh no, come on, I'm sorry. Oh, especially when it's this guy that's always mentioning his wife, right? There's that popular, not even saying, but the sort of thought process of the person that barks the loudest about something is usually hiding something, right? It's the one that's usually probably involved in that particular thing. So this case, it was the same thing. They have compilations, but I'm not going to bother to go through them. But I just found that interesting, especially considering the type of guys that they were. Let me see if I could find, if I could Google that. Try guys, testosterone. Try guys, testosterone. I also got a copyright thing, not a strike. But what's funny is that I got a for those cut videos that I've been showing on the streams. So I'm sure they're realizing that people are watching the videos, right? And they want a piece of that pie. They don't want to just give out their content for free, even though it's transformative, even though it's fair use. You vultures. It's funny because this article is from Daily Wire. Daily Wire, which some people have a problem with, but let me see if they have normal tea. Let me see if I could show you here. I fucking hate going to any website in 2022. It's 20 ads. But let's go and see if I could show you guys this. The normal T score for an average male ranges from 270 to 1070. I should have checked mine. I got my blood work done recently, but I think you have to ask for it. Maybe I need to double check what mine is, but I really want to know what mine is. Wouldn't it be great if I'm talking all this shit and mine is 269? Wouldn't that be tremendous? That'd just be the best. But I'm trying to find out what they got. Eugene had a 363, right? So they say they were testing below the level of a typical 85-year-old man. Now, it's not to say anything about them, right? It's not to say anything in particular about these men, their T levels, right? But it's just one more thing. It's just another thing that lets you know. And it's just further compounding evidence as to the type of individuals we're dealing with. Why should he lose his job for something in his personal life? I don't know. I'm sure they had some sort of thing for it, especially when a job is content, right? When a job is to make content, which I guess could probably be further reasons as to why they're letting him go, because then it's going to overshadow what they're doing, right? So because you got caught making a dumb mistake, now that's going to overshadow what they're doing because, well, they haven't gotten caught with their mistakes. So be better, essentially. Let's see. Be better. Fuck.
Be better. Be better.
Be better, according to Michelle Obama and Oprah. So be better. So maybe it's going to overshadow their actual content. But I believe they're pretty lucrative now. They've made a lot of money. All these people that left BuzzFeed made a lot of money because BuzzFeed was predatory, and then they used the platform to launch their own careers, which was kind of funny. A good way of using a shitty company like BuzzFeed. I'm wondering why they're still around or how they're still around. I'm sure they only make money on ad revenue. Let's see. I'm the one who sent the deck clip. That's less OG reference, but still true. I saw that the other day, by the way. I was gonna make a video on deck clips, and I saw yours. I appreciate it, of course, Mike. But I'll be hitting you up and seeing if we hang out tomorrow. Now, here's the thing: if I don't make a video Friday, then you guys know that I was murdered violently by a Texas man. So there's your right. There's me covering myself. I thought you were gonna show the hurricane. Let's actually take a look at the. Let's see what's going on with the actual hurricane. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. Oh, sorry. No, that's not a hurricane. That's a Wawa in Philadelphia. Sorry, I got my clips mixed up. That's same thing. Right, same thing. I found that video particularly interesting, by the way. If you didn't hear what she said, she says, "Are you guys gonna make a sandwich, or are you just gonna keep filming?" As the store was being ransacked by, I imagine, a group of jaded teenagers. My goodness, I've seen this often. Maybe it's my advanced age, but I hate the youth. I really do. I can't tell you how much I hate young kids and their stupid culture. I was at the mall the other day, Sunrise, I believe. It's a mall it's not the standard mall that's in this area. You have to go a little bit further up. Just full of these dumb emo kids in Target, just trying to get attention from the rest of the girls, right? So the boys are doing dumb things like breaking shit to try to get their attention, trying to be funny, and their humor is let's be honest, it's retarded. And I'm using that clinically, right? I'm not saying it in the middle school sense. I'm saying it clinically. They're clinically retarded. Trying to get the attention, and I'm here just trying to shop, right? Trying to get my fucking. I was at Target, so Target in this mall is a massive one. I was trying to get some fucking fiber tortillas while dodging children full of estrogen and hormones, trying to impress girls. And just gross. There's emos. I didn't know emos were still a thing. Emo goth kids. My goodness, I thought that was a thing that died with my generation. And then before that generation, there were the weirdos, the punks, the whatever. But the emos are still around. They're dressed all in black. They have fucking face paint. They're with their parents. God, how embarrassing. If you're going to be an emo, at least leave your house. Commit to the bit. Don't be there with your mom who's dressed like a normal person. Ugh. Oh, let them be. Let them be. What's going on? No, just fucking show them, hey, listen, all right? You're representing me. You're representing our family name. My mom would have beat the shit out of me if I put on a fucking, what do you call this? Makeup to look emo and just slapped it. My grandmother would have probably given me a Goldberg spear through the earth if I would have ever done anything. It made me tuck my shirt in, and you know what? It's made me the individual I am today. So I think that sort of upbringing is a positive one. Even though at the time I thought that they were doing the worst. Now looking back on it, you know what? They were right. They were right to give us the upbringing. Because look at the other side of the coin. We could have been those weird, odd, emo kids. Ugh. God. But of course, those group of kids and teens in fucking Wawa. I mean, oh, and the lady. Just let's go back to this dumb bitch. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Just the audacity, the level of self-worth. You see your stores being ransacked, and you're only. Are you gonna keep filming? Or are you gonna make me a sandwich? No, bitch. Oh God, I'm having heartburn. I'm having heartburn from that fucking video and the audacity. Harry Potter and the audacity of that bitch. That's what it seems like. If any magician got on Fool Us and showed a blood test with average testosterone levels, they would leave Vegas with a trophy. You know what? Let's look. I don't know if I have my thing. Let me see if I could find my scores here live, right? I doubt I'm going to be able to find it. But I want to see if I could find my blood work and see if they mention. I don't know if it's part of it. If it's part of the actual stuff they give you, the documentation and paperwork they give you. I know they tested for a bunch of things, but I don't know if they actually have a T score. Are you talking about this target as sawgrass? Anything with sawgrass mills, leave me out. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I haven't been there a lot, which is why I thought, oh man, this is a super target. Let me go here and have some fun. No, no, I made the mistake of partaking in this particular mall and dealing with the youth, especially on Saturday where they're all around and they're trying to get each other's attention. Gross. But let me see if I could find my. Where would I look for it? I hope I could log in and see my stuff here, right? Maybe this is how I could do it. Let's see. I really would love to be able to show it live, and I'm not gonna lie about it too. I know some people would lie, but I'm not gonna lie about it. So even if they're really low, I'll let you know exactly what it is, assuming that I do find it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to find it here. If anything, I'm sure I could just post it on a screenshot on Instagram, as if anybody cares. But it would be interesting to see. I don't know if it's okay. So I logged in. Let's see if I could find records or anything like that. This is great because they're like, hey, make a payment, you vultures. Oh no, you know what? I think I have to go to the other website. Yeah, I have to go to the other website, the ones that I actually went to the clinic for. All the stuff, by the way, on these websites are from hurricane stuff. We already know how to deal with a hurricane. Don't pretend like you have our best interest in mind. I'm not gonna be able to find this shit here. I'll find it later. This is terrible TV, but I really want to see what my level of testosterone is as a short, usually drunk, Coke Zero drinking. I do work out though. That increases it, right? I walk a lot. That increases it as well. I'm angry all the time, irrationally upset at anything and everything that moves. Yesterday, the camera kept flickering. I was recording a video and it kept flickering, and I was maybe 2 seconds away from just throwing the whole thing against the wall. So that could be a indicator of high levels of testosterone or low patience, right? Either one. I'll take it. But I saw both of those. I don't know if that's the case. Manel sent me a photo. Hopefully, it's not that of a penis. 2 guys making out. That's great. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate that. Chemo Kid says Slatzer. What? Why would he lose his job? All right, already mentioned that one. Is this the vocalist of Maroon 5? He cheated on his pregnant wife as well. That was a different case entirely, but for his thing, it was kind of interesting because his DMs leaked, and his DMs were gross. Like, he talks like a 13-year-old boy. So when he's texting these usually very attractive females, he was saying like, "Oh my god, I just have to have your butt." Like, what? Come on, be better. I need to get that fucking.
Be better. Be better. Be better.
I always think it's 6. It's 7. This is why Daniel needs to bring back that Stream Deck. Let's see. They had a testosterone magician. I already read it. Someone to replace Pig's Coke with an off-brand. He won't notice. Chat pranks. Well, I used to drink Czech on a regular basis. Diet Czech, which is essentially a poor person's Coke, but a 12-pack of Czech is like $4, which is what Coke used to be. And then now they said, hey, people want Coke, so we're going to shoot up the price to $12 for a 12-pack. Paying $1 a Coke, essentially, from a 12-pack. Disgusting. But I'm not opposed to Czech Cola. I'm actually a big fan of Czech Cola. Luke says, if you drink too many Coors Light, you might fall down the stairs. That's funny. That's a reference to, I believe, David Penn. David Penn, who fell down the stairs in Blackpool. I don't think he liked me. I don't think David Penn liked me. I love David Penn. Don't get me wrong. I love the guy. But I got the impression that he didn't like me in Blackpool. Every time I'd be with Peter, and Peter would talk to him and approach him, he'd kind of, I don't know, shuffle off. I approached him once and I said, hey, man, I love your work. And then he kind of was very dismissive. I don't know if he knows me, even. I mean, I've commented a lot on the channel. I'm sure he does. I don't know. Maybe it's an ego hit, but I felt like he didn't like me, which was odd. Which it doesn't matter because I still love David Penn. So it doesn't matter, David. Even if you hate me, I still love you. You're gonna see me outside your window just like this. Obsessed. Surely excessive meaningless frustration is an estrogen thing. Could it be? I thought that was a testosterone. Jesus, testosterone thing. Where you're irrationally upset at normal mundane things. Like, I don't know. You think of another thing. Traffic. Like I was walking the other day and I saw somebody cut somebody off and I just stop and I go, what the fuck's going on here? Like I just irrationally upset at something that has nothing to do with me. I can't control it. I'm sorry. You don't actually throw the camera against the wall. T-score was too low. Yeah, that might be the indicator, right? That actually might be the indicator that I thought about it, but I didn't do it. So is that the level between a 700 level and like, I don't know, a fucking 269 level? Eugene from the Try Guys level. E. But I need to check my levels, man. I know that I got, let me actually, hold up. I could do this. Shut up. I'm going to do this. I don't care. I'm going to do this live. I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to find medical. I'm going to look at my email and see if I could find it. I want to say the name of my stuff, even though Lord knows all my information has already been out there, right? Right? You creepy people looking up all my stuff. I'm aware. But let's see if I could find it. I don't know if I deleted things. I hope not. Gmail, come on. Gmail right now is giving me mad vibes of fucking Microsoft's version of emails, which is just the absolute worst. But I want to see if I could actually find my record here. I took it not so long ago, so it has to still be here. And like an idiot, of course, I probably deleted it and didn't archive it as I should have. Let me look up records. Record. Okay. Your HSMV records? Oh no, that's Department of Motor Vehicles. Thank you for that. Come on, man. Why is this so hard to look up? All I want to do is just look up a test. That's the other part that sucks, by the way. When you get your medical records back, it's kind of a nervous thing because you don't know what's going to happen and what you're going to look at. Oh, what if it just shows up as like AIDS? That's not fun. I don't want that. So here, let's go to it. Up the specific thing. My thing. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it here, unfortunately. I was kind of hyped. Might have deleted it. Let's go to the website and see if maybe I could log in. Although I don't seem to have my... I'm going to have to do the forgot password. So let's see if your information doesn't match. So how did I log in before if my information didn't match? Okay. See, this just maybe if I could look up my records, maybe, please. I would like to use your location. No. I don't know how I logged in if I didn't have an account. That doesn't make much sense. Unless maybe I logged in specifically with some other bit of information. Yeah, that's odd. Okay. All right. So let's do that. You know what? Yeah, I don't have an account with this people. I thought I did. Turns out I don't. So I don't know how I got that information. That was a waste of time. I apologize. Nearly impossible at the hands of a 7-year-old girl. Could be a sign of that low test. Let's virgin this up a bit. Are you working on any hard sleight of hand? I myself am trying to learn Tony Chang sandwiches and want to end myself. Who doesn't love PigCake? Everyone loves PigCake. Quoting former president. Who doesn't love that? Everybody loves that. I have a really shitty Trump, but I try. What am I working on? I was working on a bit the other day, like a spread cool cop to be very virgin-y. I was working on that, but it's not a hard move to begin with. The hard move about it, rather, be a little bit of a virgin, is the hard part is, for example, I don't want to have to do the cop the spread coal directly into the cup, right? So what do? You do that Solomon slider stuff, David Solomon's slider principle, where you coal a card, and then that card makes the friction a lot easier. So you can make that card a spread coal a lot easier. But then here's the problem. Now when I go to do the spread coal cup, guess what? I have 2 cards in cup because I have the spread coal card that I use to reduce the friction, and also the participant's card. So I'm trying to find a way of doing a spread coal, right, of a card that matters. In this case, it could be the participant's card or any card like that, and not have to do that dumb spread coal thing where you either have to do one of these, right, where you go, oh, look, right there, and you have to put the pressure while the attention is on. That Solomon slider pretty much takes all of the friction away. I could be sliding. I could use this as lubrication for sex, essentially. So that's what that card reduces. So I'm just trying to find a way to do that without necessarily resorting to that Solomon slider, or without having that card be a part of the actual cup, right? So here, it slides super easy. I just put it down, and now, unfortunately, I have 2 cards in cup. So I just have to find a way to optimize that. That's what I've been working on, right? And trying to find a way to do that just for a specific routine. And the routine's really not much. I'm going to put it on the PigCake Magic Academy, right? Look at that, shilling. I'm going to put it on the Academy soon enough. It's a fun one with like a color changing thing, but you could still do it with a regular coal and a coal cop rather. But I just wanted to be able to do it with that Solomon slider because it's so much easier to coal a card with that slider principle than without it. Maybe instead of the spread coal to do a switch, a control like the DMB spread. Yeah, somewhat that could work. But for this one, you're spreading the cards face up. You're having them showing them the card still being in the deck, and then you have to spread coal the card. I want to be able to do the Solomon bit, right? You do you pull a random card. You could point out the card, and look at how easy it is. Look, it almost, there's no pressure. Whereas with the spread coal, oh, look, there's a 10 of diamonds, pressure, coal, and now the card's in coal. Yeah, okay. I might have to consider an alternative for that. Look at the virginity, right? We still talk about virginity here. Oh, wow, Piggy, you're talking about all these things, the try guys, testosterone levels, hurricanes. That has nothing to do with magic. Well, look at that. This is a whole magic. And if you're a person that doesn't do magic tricks, try to understand what we're talking about. Try to understand this conversation right now based on, what do you call this? Based on that. I was watching Craig Petty's video. By the way, I was watching Craig Petty's video on exposure. And that guy, Unbiased Magic Reviews, he's commented on my channel before, right? Which, by the way, if you're going to comment on my channel and call me up, I'm aware that I'm a POS, right? Don't put POS. Put piece of shit. Right, I could still see the comments on the deleted ones. Like when it says, "Hey, this comment was flagged," I could still see it, right, and approve it. Usually, I always do. So don't put POS. That's a bitch move. And also respond. Respond. If you put a comment like that and then I respond and then you don't respond, that's a bitch move. So you put a comment on one of my videos saying, "Hey, stop exposing magic, you POS." Jesus. So it's funny that Craig Petty made an entire reaction video to one of his comments because he's responded. And then from what I hear, he's had a threads on a Magic Cafe arguing with people. He comments on a lot of people's videos, and then he doesn't respond. He doesn't respond. And then on his video, any dissenting comment, he deletes. So I wanted to debate the guy. That's what I kept saying in the chat, in Craig Petty's chat. I want to debate this motherfucker. Because he's out here calling me a piece of shit. I'm aware I'm a piece of shit, but that's not your prerogative, all right? You fuck. God, I mean, I know what he does, right? Found out information. I could divulge that. And by the way, it's weird what you do. Weird. You should be the other thing. You shouldn't be that. There's nothing wrong with what you do, but it's usually a field dominated by females, right? So I don't know if that says anything about him in particular, but come on, be better.
Be better. Be better.
Be better. I don't know why he fucking did that. I don't understand. Left a couple comments on my shit, doesn't respond. and then you leave any comment on his channel, he deletes it, and he only keeps the positive ones. Now I know why he didn't keep your podcast. Says Manel, who are you talking about? Unless we're talking about two different things entirely. PigCake Magic Academy, the only magic resource that costs less than a White Claw from the corner store. Never heard of it, right? I keep getting emails about because I subscribe to what is it, the Daily Magician, and every time they're pitching somebody's subscription service, they're like, "This is the best one." I'm like, you don't know, all right? You don't know what I know. We're talking about the cop, Madison Top Cop, says Lee Milner. That's what you're working on, I guess. Let's see. I keep looking through the comments because I know that I ignored some, and I don't like ignoring comments. I don't like ignoring comments. But that's, I guess, what I'm working on. What was the other? I know I wanted to mention something. Oh, yeah. I want to debate that guy. That's the thing, right? I really want to debate the guy on video. It would be great if we could do it maybe on Petty's channel, right? He already had a debate talking about that weird trick with the ones from Penguin Magic. So wouldn't it be great to keep doing those sort of videos? I wanna fucking straight up debate the guy about magic exposure. It's the worst thing to debate on. You're gonna lose. There's no way you could beat that because in your mind you already have an incorrect definition of what exposure is, right? So you're already starting off with your foundation being built on sand. So it's gonna be a joke to try to debate that. But I still want to do it because if he's willing to come on and comment on my channel and call me a piece of shit, you might as well be willing to have a conversation with old Piggy, right? Moderated. So maybe I should hit up Craig. Although I don't think he's going to be down for it. I don't think any of them would be down for it. And especially with my condition because I'd be doing it drunk and I'd probably be saying things that, you wouldn't want on your own personal channel, right? Specific words. I might drop an F, I might drop a G, might drop an N. Who knows, right? Who knows? Maybe I would. Depends on how that works. I don't know how I would drop those, but I'm sure they'd come out in some context. But man, fucker, you fucker, trying to leave a snide comment and then not even responding. So I found that funny looking at Craig's video about it, and he goes off on a tirade about that channel. And, actually, let's see if he responded. Let's see if he actually left a comment on Craig's video. YouTube.com. I hate fucking Bing. Craig. Eddie. Look how we tied back to virginity, by the way. We tied it directly back to virginity. I don't know why Craig interviews Justin Miller, too. Maybe I'm not a fan. Maybe it's because I'm not a fan, but... Ugh. My goodness. Is YouTube exposure killing magic? I'm looking at the comments, by the way. Let me see if we could look at this together, guys. Right? I don't know why I'm looking at something. And I'm not showing you guys what I'm looking at. Did shift to? Yeah. Okay, so let's go through this. Comments. Let's see. Thank you for formatting. It says, "Oh, man. This guy's still talking smack about you in the comments. But he's not talking smack in the video chat, right? In the chat of the video. That's the part that I'm kind of upset at. If you're going to be talking shit, here's a guy making a video about you. I know I left a comment. I don't know if... There you go. Look at that. Hey. I just want to argue with the guy. That's kind of my goal. I just want to argue with the dude. But let's see what this video leads us down. Now this is a rabbit hole all of a sudden. This guy says, "Oh man, the guy's still talking smack about you in the comments." So this is his video here. This one came out, I believe, after Sankey's video. Let's see. Oh my God. Okay, so Sankey. Sorry. Petty's video came out on the 23rd. This guy came out on the 25th. Fucking Naruto. Come on. That's 40 years old with Naruto. Let's look at the comments. With Craig Petty, you should not say anything about his friend, Lloyd Barnes. I can't believe Craig has a masterclass coming up of Vanishing Ink. I wonder if he will teach his appalling double lift with the fumbling at the back of the deck. Hopefully he puts a little more thought in his material than his masterclass is going to turn out. to be another flop. I was shocked by his response to you on asking him to do a video on exposure. I don't think that his response was called for in the way that he attacked your character on ethics and magic. Yeah, I left a simple comment that he should address magic exposure. Lots of these channels are exposing magic to the general public. No, we're not, you fucking moron. Back in the day, the magic community would be appalled. Back in the day, what? Back in the day was when, you fuck. It's always been the case. Books were thought to be exposure before any form of media. Then VHS became popular. That was thought to be exposure. How the fuck are you supposed to learn magic, you fucking idiot? Now I'm upset. Ethics. I've never heard a professional magician support magic exposure because it's not magic exposure. You have any general public, and I'm not even going to get into the fucking... I'm here arguing with this fucking comment. But... let's see. Even magic forums that only magicians visit have to wait to prevent exposure, which is why they have special sections that are designed for discussing secrets. No one wants to hear the reality that magic exposure on YouTube exists for one purpose: financial gain. Yes! Yes! That's the point of it. Every bit of magic exists for financial gain. You fucking moron. That's the way it works. It's an industry. It's a business. Same thing with magic videos. Right? You try to make subscriptions and financial gain seem like a bad thing. What? That's the case with absolutely everything. No one wants to hear the reality, yada, yada, yada. Financial gain at the cost that don't even belong to the person who's exposing them. God forbid you say anything out loud like I have, and they'll try to discredit you. Yeah, because you comment, and then you don't respond. You leave a little bit of a snip, you bite, and then you leave. You're not willing to stay there and actually debate, or you're not willing to stay there and actually have a constructive argument. You're only willing to bite at the ankles, and then you disappear into the shadows amongst the rest of your muck, and the muck being these fucking losers that comment on that magic channel. Are you having a laugh? My goodness, what a pussy. What a gigantic pussy. And to say magic exposure. Every magic business, every magic is a business. Every bit of magic is a business, right? You have magic companies that are selling products. Do they restrict who they sell to? No, they don't. You could be anybody and you could buy a magic trick and therefore learn the secret. Are these videos catered to normal people? No, they're catered towards magicians. Magicians, people that are willing to put the thought. Of course, he ignores that, right? Just in the same way, if somebody shows him this video, he's going to go, oh, he used curse words. He called me names. Yeah, how about you ignore the points that go against your fucking deluded mentality of magic? You fucking idiot. My goodness. I hate people like that because they're just stuck in their old stupid ways. They don't want to learn anything. And on top of that, they're giant pussies because they don't even have the balls to sit there and actually argue the point with you to your face. So what they want to do is they want to hide behind the keyboard. They want to get fucking reinforced by the little group of old fucks that have the same stupid mentality. And then that's it. That's where they decide to end their points. They don't want to actually take it further and argue the points that they so voraciously defend behind a keyboard. Pussy. My goodness. I'd love to be able to talk to that guy. He probably would hang up. He'd probably hang up. Let's be honest. Right? Naruto. He's 40 years old. You have Naruto as your introduction. By the way, audio levels. All right? Ever heard of audio levels? Audio modulation? You idiot. Right? If you have the fucking thing and your music is blasting, so when you put it into Premiere or whatever fucking iMovie or Windows Movie Maker in your case, you see the audio levels. Make sure that it doesn't hit the red. If it hits the red, then you need to put either a noise gate or you need to control the audio so that it doesn't blast my ears when I put on your fucking stupid videos. You should check out his live debate with Aaron Ducker and Perseus. Yeah, I saw that one, but it's still an argument. You see that? Look, there's a point. They had a point of contention. They went on a stream and they talked about it, right? They didn't just leave a little snide comment and then they hide in the shadows. Or they fucking, well, I'm not even going to get into my shit because unfortunately Piggy's also dealt with a little bit of that. Never this, right? There's never a face-to-face confrontation. As a matter of fact, I remember trying to call one of the motherfuckers and they never picked up, which of course just lets you know how much of a fucking giant pussy they were. Same thing with this. Same thing with this. He'll leave little comments, little snide comments, and hide behind his legion of old, dehydrated men that are trying to hold on to this weird standard that's never existed. The same argument took place when books were being published about magic. The exact same arguments. Oh, books are going to ruin magic because they're being sold in public libraries, and that's going to lead to exposure. Oh, VHS? Great. Now people are going to make VHS tapes, and they're going to sell those in general stores, and those are going to be lead to exposure. Okay, great. DVDs. This is going to do the exact same thing. Oh, YouTube, online media. Great. Now anybody's going to be able to self-publish and make things and expose it. They're designed for magicians, right? It's exactly as Craig said with forgot who the coin magician that he uses as an example was, but Rick Holcomb, I believe. Rick Holcomb. I know he's subscribed to the channel. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name there. But where he has like an hour-long video on the edge palm. What the level of virginity you have to have in order to watch an hour-long video on the edge palm? But then with this guy's retarded logic, you would think, oh, great, he's exposing the edge palm to the public. Who the fuck is going to sit there and watch an edge palm tutorial for an hour? You have to be committed. You have to be invested. And even if you're not invested financially in magic, you're invested your time, which is more valuable because you have less of that. So you're investing your time in learning this particular thing. That's not exposure. That's not exposing it for the sake of exposing something, just a secret. My goodness. People like that just kind of get me upset with the same stupid argument that they're not even willing to stand on because they have no backbone. Yes, about testosterone levels. I hope the blood flows. Well, otherwise, I could imagine having a stroke. I enjoy an unbiased magic review. You know, if that's all right, I guess, if he's good at reviewing tricks. I've only seen a couple of his videos and he goes into the things, but I'm talking about behind the scenes. I'm not talking necessarily about the reviews. The reviews could be great, right? They could be fine. I've only seen a couple bits of them, and they seem to be standard magic reviews. Which, by the way, right, if you think about it for even a fucking modicum of a second, wouldn't reviewing products that are designed for magician also constitute exposure by your fucking retarded, flawed logic? Would that not also constitute exposure? Because then you're telling the general public that these things exist, right? Is that not the same thing? Oh, didn't think about that? That you're doing reviews that essentially are exposing people to know, hey, look, somebody's using if somebody happens to be doing this particular trick, they're using a something that I could easily buy from Penguin Magic. It's the same shit. It's a hot dog bun and a piece of bread. Just fold the bread. It's the same thing as a hot dog bun. But yeah, I mean, his videos, I'm sure, are perfectly fine. I'm just talking about the person that's making and leaving snide comments and fucking... I remember when he left that comment and I looked at his channel, I'm like, how is this guy leaving these little snide, annoying comments on people's channels? That's really dumb. And then you go, and because you look at his videos and you're like, oh, it's just like a standard magic reviewer. Yeah, no, you're going behind the scenes doing these little snippets. This sort of attitude has historical precedent. The trade guilds of medieval Europe existed solely to preserve trade secrets. The trouble is, these attitudes hamper innovation and protect elite. That could be, yeah, exactly that, right? You're preventing what is potentially new magicians from learning the art, right? You're hiding it. You're like this, back when fucking Vernon used to do that. I don't know if it was Vernon or Marlowe. They would do the diagonal palm shift. Might have been Vernon, as a means of seeing if you're worthy or not, right? And gatekeeping magic. Now, I get it. Yes, you do want to preserve secrets. You do want to keep, what the term is kayfabe, right? In certain senses where you are trying to keep some illusion of reality when it comes to certain things. But people know they're watching a trick. They know they're watching a performance, right? It's up to you to try to convey that performance in a way that's going to make them think more about the performance and less about how you did it. Right? So it doesn't matter if I'm teaching something on YouTube. I'm teaching something on YouTube with the goal in mind that a magician is going to watch the video. Now, if a person that's not a magician is going to watch the video, I'm hoping that they then take the time to learn magic. Right? I'm not sure. You think anybody wants to learn how to do a spread coal into a cup to put in your... No lay person's going to give a shit about that. But if you take the time to learn it, you know what? Then I think I did my job well. right? And yes, it's for financial gain. Are you stupid? How is magic exposure? When the only people looking into these tricks are people actually practicing magic. That's exactly it. And I hate it because it's the same dog and pony show. It's the same tired tropes. They all have the same argument. It's always the same dumb shit of, oh, you're killing magic by doing this. That's not the way it works, right? You could show any trick. You could have everything exposed and still going to exist as an art form. Perfect example is wrestling. Everybody knows everything that's going on with wrestling. They think they know everything about what's going on behind the scenes. They think they know about everything, but yet people still pay to watch wrestling. What a fucking surprise. Same thing with magic tricks. You're going to have an industry that's catered to people that have a hard time socializing. So they want to find a little bit of social lube, a little bit of lubrication to try to talk to people and try to learn social skills that you would otherwise learn normally. And what's that perfect social lube? Magic tricks, right? It teaches you skills that you wouldn't otherwise learn. So it's going to still exist just by the nature of people being fucking awkward or people gravitating towards an art form like that, right? It's a performance art. It shows you how to pretend to be someone in front of a group of people, which is a very valuable thing to learn. So you're always going to have magic, regardless of exposure, regardless of secrets, your precious secrets that you so gladly talk about while you're reviewing tricks on YouTube, right? You don't have to have a secret code to watch your YouTube videos, to watch your reviews on magic products, do you? No, so then what are you arguing about? Leonard Miller says, I'm kind of disappointed Piggy isn't wearing a tank top. Yeah, I was actually considering it. I was looking at the short my dick tall tank top before this. Which has actually gotten a couple sales. I think TikTok videos, surprisingly, using those in TikTok videos have gotten me a couple sales on those. But yeah, I was actually considering that, which by the way, would have probably, if he ever makes I hope he makes a response video. I hope you make a fucking response video because, oh, God, would my response video just be so fucking gross. I'd just be so disgusting. But at least, you know what, it would show some balls. It would show some balls. His point would probably be, look at this guy, this ill-dressed individual with this vulgar shirt. That'd probably be his main point of argument, and not arguing against the point that he's making, which is that magic exposure is essentially killing YouTube. Sean Devine, magic gatekeepers are so cringe. Magicians are very cringe, to be honest. I think magicians in general. But here's the thing. As with other things, magic is on a spectrum. Right? You get the joke? You get the joke? Magic's on a spectrum, right? So it's going to exist there, right? It's not going to exist. It's going to be cringe. The only difference is to what level of cringe. Magic exposure, people that believe in this being magic exposure, it's not the most cringe in the magic spectrum. It's not the most cringe. I think that's relegated to silk magicians in 2022. I think that's the most cringe, right? Certain magicians I've seen on Facebook, those are fucking pretty bad. But people that assume that magic tutorials are exposure are pretty high up there in the spectrum. But again, there's more cringy things in the magic spectrum. But good to have you here, Sean Devine. By the way, did you check the notes about that thing? So let's chat about it whenever. I went through all of them. I went through all the bits. I wanted to talk about the hurricane. I wanted to talk about the Try Guys. I wanted to talk about that Wawa video. I was at a Wawa recently. Astonished at what you could get there. You could have your whole life in a Wawa, essentially. So I imagine why those individuals were ransacking that one. Michael Lawrence, the masked magician was harmful exposure, in my opinion. Pranks that expose gimmicks are a problem, but this guy complains about Lloyd Barnes and Rick Holcomb. Yeah, idiot, right? Of all things to complain about. Complain about Lloyd Barnes showing how to do his own tricks and Rick Holcomb showing you how to do an edge palm in an hour-long tutorial. Are you fucking thick, my friend? Maybe you've been inhaling the fumes from your particular line of work. That you need to actually properly target the right things. Because, yeah, those are pretty bad, right? They're not terrible. Now, they are pretty bad because you're an asshole. You're an asshole. Now, legally, you're not doing anything wrong unless they have a patent and somehow you're infringing on a patent by showing that, right? Which in magic, as you know, law is it's a very thin line. But you are a shitty person if you bought a trick that somebody's selling, that somebody spent time on research and development, on putting prototypes, and then you're showing it for a TikTok video, right? That is pretty bad. Now I have done some of those on TikTok, but there was like this, right? Oh yeah, crazy. But if somebody's selling something like Henry Harris was the one that was popular, and Dan Rhodes just showing the trick, like, yeah, that's shitty. That's shitty because there's a billion other things you could do. Like, why pick that? Especially knowing that this guy's selling it, especially knowing that you bought it. Of course, probably bought it from like Wish or something like that, but that's shitty, right? Because then you're doing it for no reason. You're not your audience is not technically magicians. You're just doing it to use somebody's trick to try to get your own personal gain. I get that. But this right here, this is not that. This is trying to teach magicians, trying to help the art. It's an ethical issue, says Michael Lawrence. I agree. I think magic needs gatekeepers and exposures, kind of like a yin and yang. Resistance creates growth. I would kind of agree with that. I would actually kind of agree with that. But I think, again, spectrum, right? Unfortunately, magic needs exposure in order to grow, because people need to be exposed to magic in order for the art form to grow. Because if it's gatekept, if it's held together, then nobody's ever going to learn, because you have such a tight niche in your little group that nobody's ever going to learn anything, right? And realistically, you have to think, obviously, technology is going to be a factor in this. So you're always going to have innovations in technology that are going to increase the likelihood of exposure to the mass audiences, like YouTube, like whatever media platforms that you're having that have become popular. You're obviously always going to have advances that are going to potentially lead to further exposure. So yes, you need certain gatekeeping for certain things. It's always great to have a secret that you don't share with anyone, a trick or something that you gatekeep to yourself or a small group of people. The best examples that I've seen of this are like maybe Penn and Teller with the gun trick. You have Richard Osterlin with his penny trick where he bends the penny and he doesn't fucking tell a soul, and nobody knows. Everybody's speculating how to do that. See, that's fun, right? That's a fun secret, because you're essentially creating this murmur, and it breeds innovation. That sort of gatekeeping breeds innovation, because now you have people trying to do it. You have people trying to replicate it, and then trying to make their own version and trying to make a better version, right? So that's a good way of gatekeeping. But gatekeeping in a sense of general tricks and tutorials on YouTube, no. Let's see. Murphy's Magic probably sends him stuff for free. I can't prove that. I mean, Dan Rhodes, not the other guy. I don't know anything about that, but I'm sure there's probably some level of help there. I think they've done videos, but it's still like, why would there's hundreds of other things you could do, right? Gotta go. Took a little break from filming. For you amazing folks, look at that. I think this is the cesspool of the magic, right? This isn't really amazing folk. It's really the cesspool of society here. But Leonard, I do agree with you to some capacity. I do agree with you to some capacity where there needs to be a level of some protection of certain things. But at the same time, the other side, that this is an exposure. Magic tutorials on YouTube are not exposure, right? That's not the way it works. I think your definition, by you, I mean people like Unbiased, that have this weird logic, is just dumb. It's just a dumb logic to have. This Dan Rhodes literally just showed the world the cube gimmick, right? That's the again, that I don't agree with. I don't agree with. Again, you're not doing anything wrong legally. You're not doing anything wrong. Fuck. You bought it. You have it. But ethically and morally, you're kind of a prick in magic. But I think that's the stream, my friends. I had a little bit of a tirade here. Not going to apologize for a little anger that I had. But unfortunately, it happens, right? Especially when you see comments like that and people talking about exposure and magic. Ugh, God. So I hope you enjoyed that. Raising blood pressure. I'm going to go, I don't know, probably do some chest. I'm going to do some chest exercises. I've been trying to work out every day, doing the same workout every day, like little things, right? That I change more reps and stuff. I've been seeing this guy on TikTok calling it a fitness dailies, right? But that's not working. That's not working clearly. You need to let your body recover, which I haven't done. But I'm going to do that some chest stuff today. But apart from that, let me see here, the last comments. Discord DMs or something else. I think Instagram, but Daniel, I don't respond on Instagram because I usually have it muted. On Discord, I'm going to chat with you on Discord and we'll talk about it, okay? Mr. Mike. But that's the stream. Thank you guys. For watching. Don't know how to end this in a way that's going to be interesting and entertaining. Oh, a brownie recipe, right? Super simple. You get 2 bananas, you smush it up, right? You get a little ceramic little thing, you grease it with some, spray. You smush the bananas, you put cocoa powder, you put protein powder, you put sweetener, you mix it. That's it. That's literally it. You put it in the oven for 250 at 15 minutes. Maybe put some chocolate chips, right? A little bit because those could up the calories a lot. Put some chocolate chips, from sugar-free syrup. Dude, fucking protein. It's like a protein brownie with bananas and fucking cocoa powder. It's literally it. The best thing I've ever had. I might have one now. I might fucking have one now. Who knows? But yeah, that's the stream. Fuck it.